Is Charles Woodson the greatest defensive back of all time? We know that Woodson is undoubtedly the greatest Michigan defensive back of all time, quite possibly the greatest Michigan player of all time. If you disagree, let me know down in the comments who you would put at the top of that list. But is he the greatest defensive back of all time? Well, let's go over the resume. Born in Fremont, Ohio, Woodson went to Ross High School, where he was named Mr. Football for the state of Ohio. He finished his high school career with a school record in rushing yards and points scored, with 2,028 rushing yards and 230 points. Woodson was recruited as a running back by every school, but Michigan recruited him as a defensive back. When he got to Michigan, Woodson became the starter after just his second game as a freshman, and he played in 34 straight games. He won Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He was voted All Big Ten First Team by the coaches, second by the media. He led Michigan with 5 interceptions and 8 takeaways as a freshman, including 2 interceptions in a win against the Buckeyes. In Woodson's sophomore year, he was AP First Team All-American, a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, and voted All Big Ten First Team by the coaches and the media. Then came Woodson's junior year at Michigan, which is one of the best seasons of all time for a college football player. He was a consensus first-team All-American, won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy for Best College Defensive Player, the Jim Thorpe Award for Best Defensive Back, possibly had the greatest interception of all time against Michigan State, a one-hander on the sidelines that us Michigan fans will never forget. And against Ohio State, he had a punt return for a touchdown, an interception in the end zone, and a 37-yard reception that led to a touchdown. Woodson came up big in every game against his rivals at Michigan. Michigan had a perfect regular season, Woodson's junior year, and then they played Washington State in the Rose Bowl. Woodson helped to seal the win with an interception in the end zone, which led to Michigan's undefeated season, national championship, and it led to Charles Woodson being the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. Charles Woodson left Michigan after his junior year to go into the NFL draft, where he was taken 4th by the Oakland Raiders. And what did he do in his first year in the NFL? Oh, not much, just NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He started every game for the Raiders. 3rd in the NFL in interceptions with 5, including one that was a pick 6. He had a forced fumble, and he made the Pro Bowl. The next year, Woodson dealt with an injury, but he still started all the playoff games, including the Super Bowl, where he had an interception. Once again, there's Woodson coming up big in big games, even though the Raiders got blown out by the Bucs. He had a couple more good seasons with the Raiders, but then he broke his leg in 2005, which was pretty much the end of his time with Oakland. For now. Woodson signed a 7-year deal with the Packers worth $52.7 million in 2006, and his first year with the Packers, he led the NFC in interceptions with 8. Woodson won multiple Defensive Player of the Week and Month awards over the next couple of seasons, and in 2009, he became the first player in NFL history to have a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception in the same game. That same season, Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL with 74 tackles, 9 interceptions, 3 of those were pick sixes, 18 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 2 sacks, and a partridge in a pear tree. In the 2010 season, Woodson became a Super Bowl champion with Green Bay, although he broke his collarbone in the Super Bowl diving to make a play. In 2012, Green Bay moved Woodson to safety, where he played well, but sadly the next season he broke his collarbone again and was released by the Packers. This is the part of the video where I would play AC/DC's Back in Black for Woodson returning to the Raiders, but I'd get a copyright claim. On his return to Oakland, Woodson was just as productive as ever, averaging over 100 tackles for the first 2 seasons Back in Black. In 2015, he moved to strong safety, making him one of the few players in NFL history to play all 3 spots in the secondary. Now here's where it gets fun for Michigan fans, because if you're a Michigan fan, you know that Tennessee fans and most SEC fans believe that Peyton Manning should have won the Heisman over Charles Woodson. Well, going into week 5 in 2015, Woodson said that he always wanted to intercept Peyton Manning, something that he had never accomplished in his career. Not only did he intercept him, he did it twice in that game. So I feel like that kind of puts a period at the end of that sentence for Woodson deserved the Heisman over Peyton Manning. 2015 was Woodson's last year in the NFL. He finished with 74 tackles, 5 interceptions, 9 passes defensed, 1 forced fumble, and 4 fumble recoveries. Not bad for an old man. So let's summarize Charles Woodson's accolades throughout his career. He won Mr. Football for the state of Ohio in high school. In college, he was Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, Big Ten Player of the Year. He won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, the Jim Thorpe Trophy, the Heisman Trophy, finishing with 16 interceptions in his college career. He won the national championship. In the NFL, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. He was a Super Bowl champion, 4-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro, a 9-time Pro Bowler. He led the NFL in interceptions twice. He made the 2000s All-Decade team. He finished his NFL career with 20 sacks, which is the 9th most ever by a defensive back. He holds the Packers franchise record for most defensive touchdowns, tied for 5th all-time in interceptions in the NFL with 65, the 2nd most pick sixes, 33 forced fumbles, which is the 2nd most by defensive backs, 13 defensive touchdowns, tied for the most in NFL history, the 4th most passes defended, 4th most tackles by a defensive back. He is one of only 2 players to win the Heisman Trophy, Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, and a Super Bowl title in his career. And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. So, is he the greatest defensive back of all time? I think there's an argument. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a Michigan football fan, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and check out one of the videos on the screen now. Go Blue!